Hey everybody, this is Steve from GamersNexus.net, and today we're going to do another heat signature. This is a belated heat signature, as I announced on our Facebook page. I had to push it back for some really awesome updates that are coming, but that said, we just got back from PAX East last weekend, and I have some really awesome videos up from the concert, so check that out if you're interested in that sort of thing. Today we're going to talk about Vertex, though, which is a true indie game. It has been promoted on TIG's Source, on the independent gaming discussion forums, and it is, as I said, a true independent game, meaning that it's not really right now. There is a pretty complete demo out. It is not commercial right now. I don't know if he has plans to make it commercial, but it is a free demo with plenty of maybe 2 or 3 hours of gameplay. The game takes inspiration from Super Metroid, Spelunky, and Cave Story, as the developer has said, as well as plenty of other games in the credits, many of them from the NES and SNES era. It is a pretty challenging platformer, I guess you could say. It is an RPG platformer, very much like the old NES games. With that said, it does take in a couple of new elements from other games that have been out recently, so let's go and talk about those. It is based in there's a somewhat of a backstory. It's based around the Vertex, which is a large sort of futuristic structure that has been overtaken by bad guys, and we are part of the faction that controls the Vertex, but unfortunately we lost it to the enemies that invaded. So now it is our objective to eventually, I would suppose, gain the Vertex back, although that much of the game hasn't necessarily been revealed yet. So that's all just backstory, though. The real point of the game is to kill things, to explore, and generally adventure. It is an action-adventure platformer style game. You have your basic inventory with different items you can equip. You can have multiple characters that you switch between at any point in the game. It is not a turn-based combat, so you play as one character, you hop around, and if you want to, you can hit C to switch to a more advantageous character for the position you're in. For example, in the demo, I have so far unlocked the main character, of course, who you start with, and his advantage is he can go stealth in the shadows if you stay still for a few seconds, which is very good for getting the drop on those more powerful enemies. Now, of course, all of these enemies just patrol like in the original platformers. It's not like they're going hunting for you, but still very useful. The first unlockable character is a ranger type with a double jump, so you'll find yourself switching to her pretty frequently when you are trying to get from place to place or just trying to access new areas, and that is one of the things that Vertex does extremely well. And even though it is just a demo, like I said, so all of this is subject to change, but it does restrict access to different areas by requiring that you have certain characters or items. So it's not just like a sign that says you can't go here or an invisible wall. You physically cannot access it, and you know immediately. It's not like there's any question at all. You know immediately, okay, I must need something to get here, and then you go out and search for it. It's very compelling gameplay, and it's very fluid, so it's not like there's ever a moment of doubt or question where you're trying to think, did I miss something? Because you most certainly know that you missed something if you did not come out of that previous area with some kind of significant advantage or ability to access newer areas. And all of the areas are staged off of one central point of gathering so far, and those are all seen right away, so you know, okay, I need an access card to get to this tower, I need some kind of higher jumping ability to get to this area over on the right, and for the warp gate on the left, I know I can access that immediately. So obviously I'll go through there and then explore that level until I find something, to either an access card or a higher jump. And that's pretty much the flow of the gameplay in terms of your thought process. It is, as I said, based off of Super Metroid and some other games of that era, so in terms of elements we see from that, it is a fast-paced platformer. There is some pretty decent combat, even though it's, you know, it's a platformer. It's pretty simple. There's just a shoot and then a jump and running and all of that. But the boss battles I found extremely challenging. I did figure out after a little while what the trick is. As with all of these games, there's a somewhat of a trick to defeat the bosses, which basically in the long run is just running backwards or jumping over bullets or stuff like that. The boss the one that I fought initially did have a couple of different attacks, which meant I had to learn a couple of different ways to evade those attacks and stay alive. Checkpoints are very well placed, so if you die, which you definitely will, you don't have to redo a whole bunch of the level, but they're not placed so commonly that it's like newer games where it's holding your hand. You actually do have a little bit of a punishment in terms of time loss when you die. So for other features, there is a central town where you can go, there is a shop, so you can buy different items like healing kits or stuff of that sort, different increased accuracy, increased attack power, all of those kinds of basic items, and you just buy them. They're one-time uses for the most part, and you can buy them with the coins that you get from killing things, or you can buy them with orbs that you find hidden through different areas. And with that said, the hidden areas in this game are very well scattered. It's pretty easy to find them, so it's not like you're not going to spend hours of your time trying to find every single niche in the game, which is actually extremely aggravating to me, because I always feel like I have to complete a game 100%, but this game marks them with a couple of well-placed flowers or crystals or other stuff of that variety, so that you know where it is, but you still have to look around in that general area. It's not like it shows you exactly where it is. So that is pretty much all of the key points for this demo. It is the final version of the public demo, so I expect the full game will come pretty soon. It is made by iMoose on the TIG forums, or TIG source forums, and the game does currently have 5 major areas, to quote his list, a couple of minor areas and secret areas, numerous boss battles, original sound, music, and graphics, which are all really good, by the way. They definitely have the great older 8-bit aesthetic to them, and they flow very well. The music is great as well, so hopefully you will hear all of that. And if you download the demo, it's only 40 megabytes. It has 2 to 3 hours of gameplay and a working inventory and shop where you can equip different items to your characters to make them more powerful. The creator also has a great sense of humor, so there are some pretty funny things scattered throughout there. Definitely go download it and enjoy that. It is a free demo, 40 megabytes. I will have a couple more videos up this week. Hopefully one will talk about Legend of Grimrock if my schedule works out, and I also plan to do a video on how to replace the 4-pin Molex connectors on a power supply. So that is definitely not gaming related, but it is hardware related, so for our readers out there that like hardware, you will have that to look forward to. I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.